The men all pause when I walk into the room. The men all pause.
The men all pause when I walk into the room. The men all pause. Hey,
The men all
all
pause when we
pause when
walk
I walk
into the
into
room.
the room. The
The
men
men
all
all
pause.
pause. Melanie, how are you?
Hey, girl. Hey, how are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy day.
Welcome
Yes.
to our discussion on andropause. How about that? All right, so let's see, who do we have in the chat? You guys get it? We were doing, you know that. So who can tell us in the chat what group sang that song? They don't say menopause, but they say the men all pause when I walk into the room. It's an '80s group. Who knows what group that was? Does anybody know? Can you tell us in the chat what '80s? Taisha may know. Taisha is the karaoke lady over here. You guys know
Okay.
Mindy. Hey, Mayor Mindy.
A
Okay, so in the
queen.
chat we have Loretta. Loretta came and joined the membership at 5 this morning. Thank you, Loretta. Yay! Let's give her some confetti. I don't know if she's watching, if she's in the chat, but we're going to celebrate. We have a new member. All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello. Okay, and then let's see. Who else do we have in here? Simply Taisha. She says, "Happy fabulous Friday, Dee and Divalicious fam, and special guest." Yes, yes, yes. Felicia
Hey.
Marie B. How are you? She says, Divas. DJ Meyer. She says, "Happy Friday to all." Hello, Carol. How are you? I can't see, what is that? It's so cute. It's a furry. I can't see what furry friend we have there, but it's
Aw.
cute.
It looks like
Kate.
a little lamb.
Yes, it's cute. Like Mary had a little lamb. Kate, how are you? She says, "Hey, ya, hi, ya," from Seattle. I love it. Mayor
My
Mindy,
hair.
hey, hey, I love it. Losing it gray. She says, "Good evening, Dee, Divas and Divos." I love that. Hey, Z, how are you? How are you? She says, "Looking good, ladies." Yes, yes, yes. Okay, this is so funny. Did you guys, they're like, Mel B.
Shocking,
Yes,
right?
Mayor Mindy got
Anything,
it. Mayor Mindy got
anything.
it. It was climax. It was climax. That's so funny. I'm
Y'all
gonna have
know
to
I'm coming out of this. I'm coming out of this.
It's
I
coming
can't.
out. And meanwhile, I'm over here freezing. Even my daughter is cold.
I know you said that. No.
So I'm gonna tell you guys the backstory of this on Sunday, on my Sunday live, or I might go live with my membership Saturday or Monday. I need to be figuring this out, right? Because I think I'm gonna wait till Monday during the day, since I won't have to work. It's Labor Day, right? So I won't be working at my job, but I'll be working for you too. So I may do that on Monday just to catch up and chit chat. But maybe I forgot I'm live on Sunday. Man, I am live on Sunday. I can tell them the story on Sunday. The
Yes.
men all pause. It's just like when I thought of that, I said, "Geez, Louise, we got to sing this song." We wanted to get the song, but that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about on Sunday. Hey, my name twin. Did I say hi to? She says Lyman's. What's Lyman's? Is that a group? I don't know that group, but I gotta look into them. If you know, Z, I need to know. She says climax. Okay, very good. Yes, it
Yes.
was climax.
Climax.
Yes, yes, yes. It was climax. You guys know, I'm gonna show you a picture of them at some point. Maybe while Mel is doing her thing, I'll get a picture of you guys. Devin, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Oh, you're a koala from Australia.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. Okay, is that okay, wait. Okay, I can see better. These are like real true sunglasses. So I can't see as
These
well.
are too, but I can't. I
Yes,
still
yes, yes,
can't
yes.
see
Oh,
that
I
one.
love them. You can't see that well? Okay. All right. So thank you for coming tonight. We are here to talk about andropause, the male menopause. And Mel, tell us the technical name for it. What do they call it? Hydro, what?
Well,
Is it
it's hypogonadism.
Hypogonadism. That sounds so
Hypogonadism.
like
Can you say that 3 times?
hypergonadism. Hypergonadism.
Hypo.
Hypergonadism. Oh, I said hypogonadism.
Yes.
Okay, very good. It sounds very like tribal. That name sounds very
Yes.
tribal. So in the chat, let us know. Now, you were on our live with Charles on Wednesday. You probably know, so you're going to be ahead of the game. But what do you think? What do you know about Andropause? Have you ever heard of it? What do you know about it? Tell us in the chat anything. DJ Meyer, thank you. Hit the like button. Yes, the people that are watching, if you're in the chat, hit that like button. Oh, Taisha says, take a moment and hit the like, lovely people. If you have any questions, place a Q in front of it. So we thought this question we thought this subject might be a little taboo, but we're going to talk about it anyway. And if the men don't come in here, they'll catch the replay. But also, if you are a woman who has a husband, a boyfriend, or a partner, whatever you have going on with a male, you can relate to this because you're probably also dealing with his symptoms of andropause, or you're helping him through it, and he may not even know he has it. So we just want to tell you a little bit about what it is, and really, and I'm just going to be kind of brief here. We'll get into the symptoms of it all and all of that down the road. But did anybody mail in the chat tell us what they thought? Did they know anything about it? Did anybody say anything? I don't think so. I don't want to miss.
No, really, no.
So andropause is a gradual decline in testosterone, right? That testosterone. And so typically it starts in the 30s all the way to the 50s, right? Just kind of like menopause as well. And I know, think I told you guys, I know a lady who actually went through full-blown menopause in her 30s. Like she wasn't even in her 40s. So she went through the whole process. And when I was asking around to different women who I knew that were in their 40s into their 50s and asking them, so many women had already been through menopause that weren't even 50 yet. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, wow. I mean, just to go through the whole process. I always thought you had to be in your 50s to go through it. So men are kind of similar in that way. They start that gradual decline, and gradual is the key word, right? Because with women, it could just seem like it happens like all of a sudden. With men, it just is gradually over time. It's gradually over time. So also, when you compare it to menopause, like we said, menopause happens faster. It's complete, and andropause happens slower, and there's a lot of variables included in that, which we're going to talk about. They do have some key symptoms. So for the men, I think this is a big one, is your low libido. So if you are a guy out there, we know that, just imagine if you had diabetes and on top of that, you were going through andropause, you really are in some trouble, right? Because we know that diabetic males have trouble with that libido. And that's one of the motivations to figure it out and to talk to your doctor. But because a lot of men, I shouldn't say a lot, but research shows, this is not Downsizing Diva's opinion, men aren't as quick to go to the doctor as women are. And so a lot of times men are having a lot of symptoms and things going on, and they don't necessarily go to the doctor and get it checked out, where it could have been either prevented, or you could have had that early treatment that could have sent you in a different direction. So we want to stress that early detection is key. So other symptoms besides that low libido is fatigue, mood swings, sounds like women, sleep issues, and muscle loss. I thought that was key. Muscle loss is also a symptom of andropause. And so how would you even know, male, if you had muscle loss as a male, other than like all of a sudden you can't lift something or feeling like your strength is not there? How else would a male know?
I think for men in particular, it really comes down to fatigue in many ways, just not being able to do some common everyday tasks, if you will. So I think when it comes to muscle loss for men, I think it just manifests from everyday things, opening up a jar of jelly, or, picking something up, and all of a sudden all the weight is in your back, and you feel like you're not able to really lift using your arms as much. So I think for muscle, that's really one of the manifestations.
Okay.
But there are a whole lot of, I mean, there are differences here in menopause and andropause. So,
yeah, we're gonna get to those. So I just have a question. Let me go in the chat really quick and see. Darian, it's Darian is in the house. He said,
I
question.
saw him.
Is that to the male? Is that she's looking like a beautiful professional correspondent for GMA. Go ahead.
Fake doc. Thanks, Darian. Not a doctor. He's
Darian,
silly.
you crack me up. You have such a way with words. Low
He
testosterone.
does.
Yes, Z, you are correct. Currently, no hubby or BF right now. We can hang. We're in the single girls ladies club together. I have 5 sons, so I am very interested in learning to 5 sons. Geez, Louise. Okay, very good. All right, so you have to let us know if this was helpful at the end. I should say I'm older man. Okay. Wait, I should say I'm older man. Did I miss?
In older men. I think
In
she was
older
saying,
man. Okay.
yeah.
Great, thank you. Walking in my low T here.
Oh
Hey
my
there,
God.
Dee and supporters.
You know what?
Okay.
Darian,
What about
he jumping. He jumping.
what about diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity? What's it called? What is that? Adiposity, low T, fatigue, mood swings, and midlife crisis. All of that bundled up in there, right? It's a lot of that going on with andropause.
Yes.
Dicking says, is that a loss of muscle or a loss of strength at male B? Would loss of muscle mass equate autophagy?
Oh, atrophy. Yeah, atrophy, sarcopenia. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm live, so I can correct you live. No, yeah, atrophy of the muscle, absolutely. But I think it's strength and it is atrophy of the muscle, sarcopenia in men as well. So yeah, that's a great point, Darian.
And all I have to say is atrophy. Hold up, wait a minute. Not my girl, Mel B on the screen. Yes. Apology. No, I get it. I get it. That's Bellflower. Female B knows about hormones in all the bodies.
Exactly. All the bodies.
Reset with Anissa. How are you? All right. So now we're going to talk about, so that's just a little quick overview of what andropause is. Mel is going to talk about the differences between menopause and andropause.
Okay, thank you, Dee Dee. So let's break it up into a couple of different things. When it comes to the differences in menopause and andropause, let's first talk about the hormonal shift. In menopause, it involves a rapid and drastic drop in estrogen and progesterone for people who have a uterus, right? Andropause is a slow grind. It's a gradual decline in testosterone, and that can happen over 1 decade or over several decades. And when it comes to fertility, this is very important, and men will love to know this. Menopause ends a woman's ability to conceive. So obviously, you lose a period, you're not ovulating regularly, and you ultimately, the end result is you cannot conceive a child. For men, it does not necessarily cause infertility. I'm not saying it can't, but it doesn't necessarily. Men can be fertile even though their libido may decrease. And then in terms of the biological process that happens to every woman, like I said before, it's going to happen. Not all men experience significant symptoms of andropause. That it's not all men go through it. And then lastly, the symptoms, the comparison between menopause and andropause. The symptoms for menopause can be a bit more intense and manifest like night sweats and hot flashes and other sort of hormonal shift changes like skin, laxity and things like that. Whereas with men, the symptoms can be a little less, and it can involve low energy, a much lower libido, mood changes, reduce muscle mass. But again, not everyone experiences them and not to the same extent. So those are sort of the primary differences between menopause and andropause. So
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mel B. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. I am wondering, do you suspect or think that somebody that you know, a male that you know, may have andropause based on what we said, maybe going through that process of gradually losing testosterone and is showing some of these signs and symptoms? We're going to get into some more symptoms in a second. What do you guys think in the chat? Now that I know what it is, I would say I can definitely think back to somebody who I know that probably was going through it at the time, and you blame it on other things, right? You know, like we kind of what women do too, a little bit. You know, you blame it on other things. You don't always connect the dots to menopause or andropause.
yes, yeah. Likewise for me, Dee Dee, I think I mentioned to you, I shared with you that my ex, it's been about 2.5 or so years, I'm pretty sure he was dealing with andropause for sure, because these symptoms are just right on. And yeah, the mood swings and various things like that. So nobody knows his name. So obviously I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, he suffered from it. And he was kind of open about it, quite frankly. He was like seeking medical support. And I thought that was great. A lot of times, unfortunately, I think with Black men in particular, or men of color in general, Latin men as well, they're not as quick to your earlier point. They're not as quick to go and seek help. They're just not. And there's some of it is a lack of trust in the medical system. You know, there are a lot of reasons why. So
Well, Simply Taisha said, I know for sure TJ isn't. How do you know for sure? Has his testosterone been checked, Taisha? I actually believe that I do. Okay, okay. Yes, definitely. Oh, she says definitely. Hey, perfectly Pamela, how are you? She said, he said, oh, sucky, sucky. He's ready and able. Simply Taisha. Too funny. Taisha said, too ready. Wait a minute. She said,
oh Lord,
shut up,
it is
Mary.
Friday night.
All right, so I'm going to talk about some of the symptoms. So Darian, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. So here are some of the physical symptoms. We talked about some of this earlier, but low energy, having fatigue, decreased strength or endurance, loss of muscle mass. We talked about increased body fat. So especially in that belly area, they're getting a lot of body fat. Reduced libido, which is your sexual drive. Erectile dysfunction, need I say that again? Erectile dysfunction, hot flashes, night sweats. So they're also getting the hot flashes and night sweats. Uh, sleep problems, having insomnia, can't really sleep. Reduced hair growth. Oh my gosh, no. Now every time I see a guy with
You know
every
what?
time I see a guy with the hair, now I'm gonna automatically think like this is connected to this, which
Hmm.
that is a symptom. So here are some emotional and cognitive symptoms: mood swings, irritability, anxiety or being restless, being sad or being depressed, lack of motivation, difficulty concentrating on things, your memory lapse or you have memory lapses or you have brain fog. A lot of that sounds similar to menopause too. And then
Yeah,
finally, these are the metabolic and long-term health symptoms: weight gain despite having a normal diet, reduced bone strength. How about that? Osteoporosis. You're at risk, being at risk for osteoporosis, having a slower metabolism, and finally, increased risk of diabetes and high blood sugar. So any of those symptoms, and I would say a combination of a lot of those symptoms, or even a 2 to 3, is reason for you to get checked out, to get those levels checked out so that you can treat it. And we're also going to be talking about treating it. So did you hear any symptoms that you guys think out there sound familiar in a person you had that idea that probably has andropause? And I would say out of these, I think I may have given like 15. I would say half of those I recognize in somebody.
well, I can tell you that uh, Darium actually put a question in and then he restated the question. So he may really want to discuss this. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah.
He says, does andropause attribute to erectile dysfunction? And it does. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it can. I'm not going to say it does. It can. Yes, it can. Because remember, low T can cause you to lose your libido. And part of a libido is here, not just down there. So yes, based on everything that I've read, hashtag not a scientist, but based on everything that I've read, yes. And you're going to hear in a few minutes how.
And I also would say too, and then if you're a type 2 diabetic, you have that on top of,
Yeah.
this really, this is like something that, happens gradually over time with the male. And then you put that on top of it. I see why, that's going on. And then if you drink, you're a heavy drinker on top of all that, you got a lot of things working against you in that department. Yeah.
There is, JC made a comment too, Dee Dee, and it says, I feel like these are the same symptoms for so many things. Got to get that blood work done and comprehensive.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
I think I mentioned that with Charles too. A lot of times when you go to the doctor, and this was in this interview, not necessarily the live, they have a blood panel that they do that insurance covers, right? So when she put comprehensive, that's the key, because comprehensive goes a step beyond like the basics. Because when you go to get your regular blood check, you're not necessarily getting the testosterone check. You have to advocate for yourself and ask for that. Just like the same thing with women, we have to ask for our estrogen to be checked. They're not just going to necessarily check that for.
They're not. That's right. Hormone panel for sure. I'm surprised I've been able to get 2 this year, and I'm going to continue getting a full panels, including hormones, twice a year. And my insurance company paid for them. They're expensive. You know how they send you the benefits coverage notice and what you need to pay? I was shocked. Well, last year, I was like, oh my gosh, an estrogen
Share with us how much
test is. Yeah. Gosh, I wish I had it here with me. I think it was like, pardon me?
Was it more than $1,000? Or was it less?
Not quite. It wasn't quite, but it was close. It might have been 700 and something, but it could be the lab that my doctor uses, but insurance covered it. But it's expensive, but your insurance should cover it, because usually if a doctor orders it, it's because you need it. So I didn't have an issue, and my doctor isn't even in my network. So I didn't have an issue, and I've had 2 this year, January, and then the mid-year one. So yeah, full hormone, full everything, lipids, all the stuff.
And I had mine checked like last year. My levels were slowly declining, but they weren't to the point where they thought I needed anything, and I didn't think so either. So now when I go back, I'll have something to compare it to, and I just now I'm more knowledgeable too about what I should be looking for as well.
But remember, for men and women though, Dee Dee, when your hormone levels, is in particular for women, are cyclical. They don't stay the same, especially for women. It's based on your monthly cycle, and your hormones change depending on when. So there's actually a recommended time of the month that you should take to have your blood drawn, because you might go and it's a level 500, and then the next week you're like really low. And that's a problem. That's a problem. And a lot of women don't know.
I haven't had a cycle, so it's been a.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, it's like off the cliff for women. It happens fast.
So I'll be curious to see. That's why I said with mine, I'll have something to compare to when I had a cycle versus when I have no cycle. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So that'll be interesting information. Yeah. All right. Very good. Good question. Good comment too, JC. Wait, now I got to be bald, busted, and disgusted when I get andropause.
Oh, Lord.
That hair, Darian. So you're doing all right. You hang on to that hair. I'm not surprised they suffer just like women, but more so in silence. Yes, very good. DD and male to the beat. We got 12 out of the 15 symptoms. So, Darian, my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? What's your move? What's your move? Make that move right now, Darian. Remember that song by what was that group?
Make that move right now. I
Jody
don't know.
Watley
Was that
was in it.
with Jody Watley?
Yeah.
What were they called? With Howard
Shalimar,
Hewitt, Jody Watley,
Shalimar, Shalimar.
Shalimar. I love Shalimar.
I do too. Make that move, Darian. It's Darian. We all get to become a conundrum eventually.
Curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon eventually sipping our sun tea with a old bloodhound on the porch. Oh my goodness.
JC is funny.
Oh my gosh, because men can have ED with andropause. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
But you know,
Kate,
no, maybe I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say something about Viagra. I remember my dad all of a sudden getting a belly when he hit his mid-40s, even though he was just asking, or maybe she said just as active as he always was. He looked pregnant. His arms and legs were still skinny. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good thing. I'm glad you said that because a lot of times I always associate that with like, like a drinking beer, like beer or you know, a lot of snacks.
yeah.
But but it could be that he was going
I
through that.
think, yeah, I know men who are shaped like that, and they're all around the same age, and it's it's a thing. It's a thing. That's for sure.
Weight loss would help for my partner, but won't acknowledge. Oh, okay. He won't acknowledge this. Okay. Very
Yeah,
good. I don't know. What could she do to help what can you do to help a partner who's not there yet and you're on a weight loss journey? As I remember the lady shared with us on one of these lives that that was a point of contention in her marriage now.
yes, I
She
remember
wouldn't
that.
Yeah, she just was like, he would not do anything to, better his health. And it sounds like he's like even doing it more. So the fact that she's, very committed to it and it's something she's dedicated to. Sometimes that can make people go in the opposite direction, and they don't have anything to do
Yes,
with it. It sounds like that's what was going on, but hopefully they work that out or they will work that out. But how would you handle that if you were very healthy and it wanted to change your health, the trajectory of your health, and your spouse or your partner were not? Like, how would you handle that? This is true. Eating can be physically and mental. Yes, physical and mental. I agree. I agree. Take a look at your insurance. Every preventative service or test they offer, I would get every year. You pay for it, get it done. That's a great way to think about it. Perfectly Pamela says a lot of times it depends on your coverage and the diagnosis bill to determine if blood work is going to be covered and also what your cost share is. Yes, yes, yes. And my doctor
yeah, this one.
Pamela will say to me, because like I wanted my cholesterol taken before, and when I went to get my blood taken, and it had been 3 months. And she said, well, I would like to see it more long term, like 6 months from now. And she said, I don't think your insurance is going to cover it in 3 months. And I was like, well, that's okay. I'll pay the extra. And she was like, are you sure? She's like, I think you could wait for 6 months. She said, because I want to see a little bit more of a long term, like, whatever you're
Yeah,
doing, how it's going to affect it long term. So, I was like,
yeah,
that's fine. When I go back in September or October, I'll know. I'll be able to take it. Now, I don't know if the insurance is going to cover it or not. I'm just gonna have to dip into my retirement budget and pay for it anyway.
girl. Yeah, yeah. But that's a good point that perfectly Pamela made. I'm not sure why mine does. Twice per year. I find that interesting.
Yeah, I think that's great though. That is great. And if any, you probably have that Cadillac insurance. A lot of business, banks and businesses. I think their insurance is very good. Yeah, educators used to have good insurance, and our Cadillac insurance is going away. And any
Yeah,
women on BC, you will need to come off to get so birth control. You will need to come off to get the hormone panels. That's a great point. All right, so anybody
yeah. You
on
should,
birth
huh?
control, because that regulates what's going on with your hormones for sure with your body. Geez,
So
Louise.
you do not have a good picture. That's short. That's so true. And men who are taking the blue pills, Viagra and stuff like that, same thing. Don't if you're taking testosterone therapy, et cetera, and still have symptoms, you may want to look at stopping and getting a full panel just to see what's going on. Anyway.
Well, Darian said, being a man of a particular age, I get my testosterone and PSA test done annually. I also had a thyroid panel done because I was experiencing so much fatigue. It was due to my OSA. All right.
Mm.
And that's obstructive sleep apnea. Now I do know that. A lot of these words, I'm telling you, I've never heard of these terms, words. I'm like the OSA, the TPT, the HBC, the Chat GPT. I don't know. These acronyms are everything. I've learned a lot. Beverly, how are you? How are you? Bev has
Bev.
not been feeling well. I'm so glad you joined us, Bev. I hope you feel better soon. I'm with you, Dee Dee. Round amount of Zepbound inspire me to make sure that if I see any, now what's that word, Mel? Abnormalities,
Yes. Anomalies. No,
anomalies,
anomalies.
to get more
Yeah.
frequent tests, and you'll pay. I think you were gonna say you'll pay the extra. Yeah. I think you should pay for it because that test, somebody could say, no, I don't want to take that. And he saved his life by getting that test. That is
Oh,
amazing.
I'm telling you. Yes,
Amazing.
absolutely.
I think sometimes you don't think about that. Um, Dee Dee, that's funny how how you feel how you feel being a Fed. Everything is on an acronym. Drives you great. Yes, in
Me too.
education, everything is an acronym, and I know
Thank you.
those, but I don't know the. And I definitely don't know the lingo from TikTok, and I don't know like I told you before. Mounjaro, I only took birth control, and that was other than like antibiotics if I needed to take an antibiotic, but I never have taken medication, so I don't know these terms, know the names, none of that. My daughter's really never been sick where I need to know medicine names, so I've learned a lot. So I appreciate that. All right, so Mel to the B, you're going to talk about the lifestyle. How should we be living and live in color? And you're going to talk about the
Okay.
treatment options, which I think is important because if you do feel like you know somebody who has any of these symptoms, now it's like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to treat it?
Yeah. Good question. So there's the lifestyle, which would probably be the number one thing, right? To start with, like eating a mostly whole foods diet, quality sleep. That sleep hygiene is so important. And right now, I think they have a sale on Oura rings. I wear one. It has a cover on right now. But it really is good for monitoring your sleep hygiene, regular exercise, little strength, cardio. And so, yeah, those lifestyle approaches are very important. And when it comes to lifestyle, the reason why they're so important is because it improves your energy, your sleep, your libido, your mood, and reduces belly fat. And that's really important. And belly fat apparently worsens low testosterone symptoms. So that's very important to know. Also, those lifestyle changes, Dee Dee, also support better cardiovascular and brain health. So that's the foundation. So I would say though that is a treatment option in itself. So lifestyle changes is a treatment option. The other couple of treatment options are testosterone therapy. I got to tell you, every time I go to do my strength training, I see people in and out of this testosterone clinic, and they have this big sign. And one day I saw this guy going in, and I was watching him kind of fine, and he walked past, and I'm like, you going in there, just live your life, just be you, like seriously. But anyway, so there's this testosterone clinic. That being said, the pros of taking testosterone therapy are restoring libido, which to men is, I would think, is very important, energy, but testosterone is better for more things like focus and muscle mass, and can improve your mood, because if you're feeling better and your libido is popping, then guess what? You're probably in a better mood. Also, bone density and sexual function. So it matters because for men who have clinically low testosterone and symptoms, testosterone replacement therapy is life changing, but you need to do it under a doctor's care. Obviously, neither of us are doctors, but this is one of the benefits. And then the last two, the first one I'm going to mention is GLP-1 medications, semaglutide, tirzepatide, liraglutide, which now has a generic, by the way, hot off the presses today. Diva, a Chinese company, has the first generic liraglutide. Anyway, the pros of GLP-1 medications when going through Andropause are it's, first of all, a powerful tool for weight loss, which can help with that belly fat. And remember, belly fat can cause your low testosterone and libido to be worse. And obviously, GLP-1 medications, we know, especially tirzepatide, treats visceral fat. Also, the GLP-1s, as we all know, improves insulin sensitivity, lowers inflammation. And why it matters is because GLP-1s attack metabolic disorders, and they directly and indirectly can help with andropause symptoms like the belly fat, as I mentioned. And then lastly, DD, the combination therapy, like essentially lifestyle, testosterone therapy, and GLP-1s can be a magic bullet for improving your overall health. And it really is important because when you think about your vitality, your happiness, it is tied to how you feel physically, but also the best results come when you have a combined approach, and it helps you even from a mental health standpoint with those lifestyle changes. It really does. So, yeah.
And I also, when I was, reading about this, they also talked about improving that the GLP-1 can improve your cardiovascular health, and that is also going to help with
Yeah.
your, your libido, right? The whole better circulation is going to lead to a better sexual experience. And so that's another reason why you should get on use a GLP-1 to help. And it indirectly treats it. It's not a direct treatment, but it also helps with that inflammation and all of that that makes you tired, fatigued, and not really want to do anything, right? So you want to pick that up. I think a lot of times men are so driven, we all know, by the sexual, desire of it all. And once you lose that, I find men seem to be very hopeless. Like I see men as they age,
Yeah.
they feel like they're not doing that. That's why when that Viagra came out, baby, so a lot of these men were,
Girl.
happy. But I don't think it's talked about a lot. But Viagra also is not that good for your heart. It's not. I mean, it makes
Yeah. No.
it makes your heart beat faster, and it's these things going on. You almost have to be, and I think, and I don't know if doctors are if doctors are prescribing it to just anybody, but really you should be in a certain kind of health to even get the Viagra. Everybody shouldn't have it. And so, when you
Yeah.
hear about those ones that have it and they finish their little happy time in a certain way, those are probably ones
And it,
that shouldn't have had it
yeah.
in the first place. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think getting on the GLP-1, I think this is may be motivation for some men, to get on it, try it. It's going to
Yeah.
help bring belly fat down. The whole weight loss of it all is really beneficial overall.
And then the mental health aspect for the women who love these men, to me, is just so important. A lot of people, men and women, these midlife marriages that fall apart sometimes because both people are actually going through changes. Now, men in midlife and as they age, they lose testosterone gradually anyway. But besides that, you hear of men having midlife crises more so than women, and that's the emotional part of it. So I think if you have a combined therapy of the testosterone treatment and lifestyle changes, and then if you happen to be, or if you happen to have overweight or have obesity, the added GLP-1 is absolutely. So I agree with everything you said for sure.
Yeah, and this question came in my mind. I thought, gosh, what if you're a woman and a man both dealing with this together? Like, what does that household look like? And he has low
Oh my gosh.
testosterone and you have low estrogen, and neither one of you are being treated. I just can't even imagine that household. Probably a lot of mood swings. People are very irritable.
Yes.
People are,
Yes.
getting on each other's nerves is another way to say say that. And so haven't you seen those couples that you feel like that they're just irritated with each other? It could be that. It could not be that they're just, sick and tired of each other. It could be they have all these other issues going on that are unaddressed.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. There's some questions in here, Dee Dee. The first one I see is um, Darium. Mel B, do you think that the additional adiposity attracts the estrogen and may nullify the testosterone level? Not a doc, not a urologist, not a proctologist. He's not a anything around here. But anyway, so do you think that the additional adiposity, fat tissue, attracts the estrogen and may nullify the testosterone levels? Yeah, and I think he makes a good point. I think Darian makes a good point because we have to remember that men do have estrogen. I think he's probably prodding me to talk about men and their estrogen because men do have estrogen. The same way we have testosterone, we make testosterone. Sex hormones are everybody has them, and different parts of your body make them. Your adrenals make hormones. So he's absolutely right. And that's something I would prefer to look into, but I guarantee there's definitely a tie-in. I guarantee you there's a tie-in, Darian. So I'm going to look into that. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, I was thinking you might have been looking it up now, but yeah, that's a really great point. So men with an overload of estrogen, where their estrogen actually might be higher than their testosterone, so they're going through andropause, they're losing testosterone, they have more estrogen, that could be a problem. The same way women, especially women with PCOS, have higher testosterone levels. Sometimes it causes a lot of breakouts, it causes hair on the face, it causes a lot of issues, also problems conceiving. So there's a lot of nuance to this. So yeah, but that's a really great point. So yeah.
Okay, good question. Any other questions?
Bev was saying, thank you. Listen to my Dr. Mel be always so informative. Girl, I'm gonna have to say thank you for your service. Oh, thanks, Bev. Questions? Oh, Darian said he was not prodding me to say anything. He's ignorant on this topic, but figured I would know. I don't know everything, that's for sure, but I do tend to grasp onto stuff that has to do with hormones for some reason. I don't know. I'm kind of slightly obsessed with it. I didn't have a clue.
It says yes. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
It says, to Darium's question, yes, increased body fat can influence sex hormone levels, particularly increasing estrogen and lowering testosterone, especially in men. Fat tissue converts testosterone to estrogen. So more fat equals more estrogen production. This raises estrogen levels and can lower free testosterone levels due to the conversion. So yes, that was right on track. Higher estrogen suppresses your testosterone. Geez, Louise. And so that's why some women are taking both, right? Estrogen and testosterone for that exact reason. Okay, all right.
Yes, ma'am. I'm one of them.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. All right. Very good.
And Taisha said, is that what caused moobs? MOOBS? Man boobs.
Man boobs, right? Interesting. Okay, so let me say,
yes.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
And Darium says, from what he remembers, Viagra was created to help with angina. I guess public phallic engorgement was an off-label side effect. Yeah, I think you're right. But now it's the wild, wild west out there with these pills. And I find it really interesting how men can go to a gas station and get enlargement help, and women have to jump through 50 hoops and go see specialists, and OBGYNs aren't even well versed when it comes to hormone replacement therapy. That is an absolute travesty. We are still in a patriarchal medical society. Do not get it twisted, ladies. half of your primary cares and your OBGYNs do not know what they're talking about when it comes to this. Sometimes they will just deny it versus have to really get into the weeds talking about it. And the same goes for a lot of men. I've heard men say that, my ex, like, where do I go? Who do I see about this? And then next thing you know, they end up on at some random clinic where they're giving men testosterone shots and pellets just off the fly. So yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I digress.
Well, I just thought it was interesting. When Charles said that, now you can get a blood test to determine if you have prostate cancer. And I said, well, what about women? We're still in stirrups. Like, I just think that's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And when I had a biopsy, I'm telling you, I was so disappointed because my doctor told me, just take a Tylenol or ibuprofen like a couple
Girl.
hours before. And when I tell you, I thought that was such a primal kind of it just felt like unhuman to be, tearing somebody's flesh off from down there of all places because it's so sensitive to begin with. And I just thought this is so wrong. Like, numb it, do something. And why are we? Why do we have to suffer in that way as women? It's like, why don't we have a blood test? If we were men, I'm telling you, there wouldn't be
We would have one.
menopause.
Yeah.
We have a cure for that or something that was more effective for that. There'd be advancement in everything known to women. I mean, it's first of all, when you have a baby and you only get 6 weeks of, what do you call that? 6 weeks.
Some places, maternity leave.
Maternity leave. I mean, geez, oh man, if it was a man, and I know some men can also get it. I worked with a guy who took off too when his wife had a baby. He took they called it paternity leave, which I think is great. But I mean, 6 weeks.
We have that.
You need way more than 6 weeks, and to make sure you could come back and be in your same job, your same position that you left it in. I just think that we, have shortchanged women for so long. We have to take that power back. I think we're slowly but surely doing it.
We are.
Some things recently have kind of set us back, but they haven't got us off track, right? They haven't got us totally off track. And we just got to, we got to fight for these things. I think this is ridiculous.
It is. And I am a big time advocate for women speaking up, advocating for yourself. First of all, you have to acknowledge that every single woman and men, you guys too, really acknowledge that your body will change. You will lose hormones, period, point blank. You will not be that one person that it doesn't happen to. Not this game. That it just don't work that way. We all will lose our hormones. So it just begs the question, do you want to do something about it, or do you want to white knuckle it and age gracefully? One last thing I want to say is we are not our ancestors. So back in the day, men died early, women died early. Many women died during childbirth. Some women died at 45. Some, it was different times. And I think as a result of that, we realized that as women live longer and way longer than men, we now do have to provide modern medicine to make sure that that longer life is a healthy life. It's all about health span, not just living to be 91 and being cooped up in a corner. So things have changed because of that, because the human race has changed. So, and I believe in that.
Yes, I do.
And Darium said he has learned from me to say that his pain is at a 12 at all times. Yeah. So that's the other thing. Women, you go to the doctor. Men, you go to the doctor. What's your threshold? I mean, what's your level of pain? Is it a 1 or a 10? 10. Why? Because for so long, especially women of color, here we go. Either we go and we complain and we have to keep going back and forth, or we shortchange ourselves. Oh, my pain at a 4? No. I remember going when I twisted my foot a few months ago, and there was a Black woman helping me. Hilarious. And she comes in and she's like, well, what's your pain level on 1 to 10? And I was like, 10. She said, but you're walking. And I was like, well, 9, like whatever. I didn't want pain meds or anything, but I want people to respect my struggle. I don't want them to think because I'm a Black woman, I'm strong and I should be able to put up with all the things. And if you're a Black man, they can handle the pain. they got it, you know, just because we're of color. No, that doesn't work. We need to stop that. That can't be our story, guys. So that's my opinion.
I love that. And I think a lot of times too, women just don't know, they don't know where to go. They don't really have the resources. Because where do you learn this? If you didn't learn it from your mom, you know, or you had women in your family who was teaching and talking about this, you kind of wouldn't know. But Mel, do you want to read our super chat?
Mariella from Arizona. I love it. And Ola, back to you. Yeah, she says, no question, just stopping by to say thank you for all you ladies do. And Ola, hugs.
Oh, thank you,
Bendito.
Mariella. It's so sweet.
Yes.
Give her a thank you. So she's looking fabulous. I'm on my glasses kick these days. Yeah, I love it. Okay, wait. I think I'm missing some comments. Am I missing things, Mel to the B?
I am looking. I see some people talking about Lenny Kravitz. He is plant-based, vegan. He is phenomenal, and like he looks good. And I'm looking here. Don't hate that we just be thankful we picked it up along with some skill. JC Calamity Jane. Luckily, there are private institutions that are keeping medical research going. Yes, because medical research is right now, it is not a priority, not in the US. Also, look for international health journals to see updated medical research. Absolutely. I was just looking at the the NHS, which is the medical system in the UK, and they do a lot of studies. Unlike our medical institution, our primary medical institution, the FDA, they don't do studies, but in the UK they do. And I found out some interesting information. That's a whole different topic, but yeah, so that's a good point, Kate. Very good point. Taisha's question. So Taisha had a question. Sorry, Ty, we missed it. Can you, Taisha, I didn't, Taisha, I'm going to Taisha.
Was this the one about
Question.
the man boobs?
Is that what caused the man boobs?
Yeah,
It could. I think it could.
Yes, I thought I read that. Yes, that is what causes the
Was
man
that a
boobs.
part of it?
Yeah.
Okay. And Darian said, I thought I got my moves from my mother's side of the family. It's possible.
It
But
says man boobs are very often caused by hormonal imbalances triggered by that increased body fat, especially excess estrogen and low testosterone. That combo. Geez, Louise. Increased fat equals
yes,
more estrogen. Fat tissue converts testosterone. We've learned that, right? Fat tissue converts testosterone into estrogen. More fat, more estrogen. The extra estrogen stimulates the breast tissue growth, which leads to those man boobs.
isn't that funny how with women who have PCOS, they have testosterone on overdrive during that time of their life, and as a result have issues. So it's kind of like flipped in a way. So
Yes.
that's pretty interesting. Darian said, I want to read the study about giving GLP-1s to people who make them able to get back to the workplace. Yeah, that study was like a couple of years ago. They started it and people were talking a lot about it last year. I'd be interested in that as well. So Nicole said, Bellflower says, so does that apply to children that have them? It might be a good sign. It might be a really good sign that maybe, I'm going to look it up and see. Okay, let's see. You go on. I'm going to look it up, Dee Dee.
Okay. All right. So let's see what you guys have learned so far. We're going to play a little game. Are you guys ready? Let's just see. It's just as fun and light to see what you remember. Love and light. How about that? So this is, this should be pretty easy. Let's see what you guys remember about this. And then we'll talk about some wins and then we'll be out of here. It's been an hour already. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it's been an hour. Can I say this real quick before you go on though, Dee Dee? Because I just found the answer to Bellflower's question. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So It says, it is normal for boys to have breast buds, also known as gynecomastia, during puberty due to normal hormonal changes. These firm, tender lumps are a temporary benign condition, meaning non-cancerous, usually disappearing on their own within 1 to 3 years without the need for treatment. While common, if there are concerns about persistent or painful breast tissue, it's best to consult a doctor to rule out other causes and ensure that it's not fat deposits or underlying conditions, because then that normally that could have to do, it says here, with fluctuations in male hormones that kind of go off the charts at a young age. So great question, Nicole. Very good question about boys. So anyway.
Boys to men. Thank you. Love that. Love that. All right. So are you ready? Are you ready? So question number 1, this is A, B, C, or D. Put your letter in the chat. Let's see how much you remember about andropause. At what age do men typically begin to experience andropause symptoms? A, in their teens, B, in their 20s, C, 30 to their 30s to 50s, or D, in their 70s. What do you think? So A is teens, B is 20s, C is 30s to 50s, and D is your 70s. Now remember, the key is typically, right? Because we know there's some outliers, but typically means like on average.
I see Darium changed his answer.
Okay, all right. Very good, very good. Okay. All right, so we have C, 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 C. Yes, Kate's like, C, I think. Yes. Very good. It is C, in your 30s to 50s, like the same range for women as well. Like that's what we kind of have that in common. All right. Question. Very good. Very good. Question number 2. What hormone primarily declines during andropause? It declines. This is tricky, but not to this group. Is it A, estrogen? Is it C, cortisol? Is it B, cortisol? Is it C, testosterone? Or D, insulin? Which hormone primarily declines during andropause? A, estrogen, B, cortisol, C, testosterone, or D, insulin?
I don't think so, Darium.
It's so gradual, though. They probably didn't give it a Perry, right? Because it's so gradual. It just is gradual. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were right. It is C. Great question, though, Darium.
Mm-hmm.
C, 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 C. Yes. Oh, she's like, I don't know. Bev, yes, 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 Bev. Okay, very good. So C, testosterone. And we know that testosterone, though other hormones, with other hormones, again, they kind of shift, but you want to watch out for that low, gradual, decline. So number 3, you guys are awesome. Very good. All right. I guess
Yes.
post Andrew.
No, at that point, it's just like life. No.
Get the treatment. Get that treatment. Which of these is not is the key word, Darium, a common symptom of andropause? Low energy, A, decreased libido, B, increased muscle mass, C, or mood swings. Which one is not a common symptom of andropause? A, your low energy, B, decreased libido, C, increased muscle mass, or D, your mood swings. You're having mood swings. All right, Darium's coming in hot with C. Okay, all right, all right. What do you guys
So when men are annoyed, when men get like annoyed and they're sweating and they doing all this, it's like, come on, come with me to get some of this testosterone.
see?
Come on, or take some of mine. I actually let a male friend of mine, I gave him some of my testosterone to try.
What happened?
He loved it. He was like, I felt a difference. I gave him 7. Now, mind you, I'm a good friend because it was 7 tubes. And Taisha will tell you that these tubes, a man is supposed to use one whole tube. He only used half of it so that he could take it for 14 days to see how he liked it. And he did. He lives in Georgia, and he says it's not like South Florida where there's just every corner you go to, there's health, there's wellness, there's a lot of middle-aged people here. So there's all the things, but he lives out not far from Savannah, and he says it's just very expensive. They have this one place and it's super expensive. But anyway, I just thought I would tell that story. I actually did. This was last year that I gave him some of mine. And I was like, bro, I can't help you with much more because I need my own.
All right, bro. I love it. Did he ever go and try to keep that up on his own? Do you know that?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I think he's getting shots, testosterone shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Let's see. Oh, next question. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Okay. So people who said C, you were correct. It's increased muscle mass because muscle mass also often decreases. So it does not increase. So that's why C was the correct answer. All right, this is true or false. T or F, andropause happens suddenly, just like menopause.
That's a good question. And then you need to,
Is that true
do
or
you
false?
see Bellflower's question and Kate's comment?
Yeah, so true. All right, so you guys are saying false. Okay, what Bellflower is saying, what was his benefit from the usage? Oh, to your guy, to the guy.
Yeah, to my
Good
friend,
question.
just strictly friend. He said he found himself more. Let me just say this. So let me just say that he said in the morning when he would wake up, all of a sudden, whatever was happening, that was one thing. And he said he was pushing more weight at the gym. So I guess it was working for him. But I was like, I am not sending you any more of my testosterone. No. And no. So now he's taking shots. Good for him. Bravo.
Very good. I love that. All right. So you want to read that one, Mel?
Sure. Huh. She said, like, are men annoyed at his woman for her menopause? Is it mood swings from his andropause? Like you were saying earlier, Mel, I wonder if that's why so many marriages fall apart at that age. I think so.
Yeah, because
one of my best friends had that. Yeah. A friend of mine who lives in Central Florida, Dee Dee, you know, you have a friend that lives in the same town in Central Florida. And yeah, she went through a divorce a few years back and we talked about it. And she thinks he definitely had it, has it, whatever. And just, yeah. And it did. And she was certainly going through it. And she admits it. She was like, no, I wasn't a great wife. No, I didn't want to have sexual relations with my husband. Yes, he was a pain in the butt. Yes, I was waking up in the middle of the night 3 times a night, and then he wants me to wake up and make breakfast because I homeschool my son, and we decided I wasn't going to go to work. So it was just one thing after another, and it just kind of all came together. And so, yeah, Kate, I think your comment is so valid. Yes, I agree. I think so.
Yeah, that's kind of like the first thing I thought of. It's like, what is a couple going to do that both aren't dealing with these issues and suffering through them? They're annoying each other.
Yes, annoying each other. Like, can we just make it required for people over the age of 40 to have their own bathroom? Like, can you please stay out of my bathroom and not have an attitude because I don't want you in it?
Or at least have 2 sinks. You know, it's funny, 2 sinks. I tell my daughter, get off my side.
Even 2 sinks, I just don't even like that. But my ex used to be really annoyed with me because I was like, there's a bathroom over there. Like, no, like, why? Like, why? There's a whole other full bathroom a few feet away. Go. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just going off the deep end here.
It reminds me of that Hey Love commercial. I'm sorry, my brother, you've got to get on your own.
You got to get your own. That's funny.
That is funny. Okay, you guys are showing F.
Oh, Allie's
Oh,
in
Miss
here.
Flavor Fun, how are you? She says, everyone hit that like button. Yes, Allie, yes,
Yes.
like button. Okay, all right. She says, okay, so everything was woke. Got it.
Yes, exactly, Nicole.
That is
You pulled
too
it out of me.
funny.
Yes.
That is too funny. I love that. Okay, okay. All right. So here's the MVP. She says, hello, everyone. Late to the party. I love that. Okay, all right.
Thank you,
All right.
MVP.
My husband, he's been on testosterone shots. I am the one that helps him with the shot every 2 weeks. And it has been a big change in his life. Now, do you mind telling us like what a couple of those changes are? Because I wonder. That's awesome. That is
Yeah,
awesome. Okay, M to the B
love
to
it.
the P. All right, so here's the next one. And if you don't want to share, you don't have to. But you know, it'd be nice to know because if someone was out there thinking about like maybe I should, you know, that would be maybe helpful for them. Okay, here's the next question. Which lifestyle habit can naturally improve testosterone levels? Which what did I say? Which lifestyle habit? Which we kind of know these being on our GLP-1 journeys. So is it A, regular exercise, B, excess alcohol consumption, C, poor sleep, or D, smoking? Smoking those ciggies.
Mm, mm, mm.
So which one? Ooh,
Ask the question again
I will.
because
Which
I
lifestyle
didn't catch
habit
it.
can help?
Oh,
Which lifestyle habit can help naturally improve testosterone levels? So naturally, is it regular exercise, excess alcohol consumption, poor sleep, or smoking? Really, I think that's one that stands out. All right, I think you
yes.
guys have it. You guys have it. The A's have it. Sin, my friend Sin, how are you? Sin, are you healing up? How are you doing? Jeez Louise. All right, so people are saying A, regular exercise. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I have to go back. I think she commented. Do you see that, Mel? What did she say?
Yes, she said, my husband's been, okay, big change in his life. She says, sleeps better, energy, everything is, quote, woke, LOL, less moody.
Very good, very good. So you see those changes. The sleeping better, I mean, that right there alone is, well, the last one too, though. That might be a
Yeah.
toss up. That might be a toss up, the last and the first one. But I love that energy. Very good. Okay. All right. So
Did
that's
you see Allie's comment?
no, I did not. Where is it? Let's see. What did Alex?
Naturally improve testosterone by thrift shopping, or A.
Wait, I don't see Allie's comment. What time is it? You know, this
It's all the way
StreamYard.
at the bottom.
Oh, okay, wait.
I'm not looking at it in StreamYard. I'm looking on my iPad.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me find it. Oh, okay. Here she is. She said, or A. Okay, all right, very good. I need to do some of that thrift store shopping myself. Jeez Louise. All right, number
Right?
6. Number 6 is, what is the medical treatment sometimes prescribed for severe, and we didn't talk about severe andropause, but if you had severe andropause symptoms, what could you possibly get? Mel did talk about this, the treatment. So the treatment of it all, is it A, chemotherapy, B, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, C, antidepressants only, or D, estrogen therapy? Which medical treatment is sometimes prescribed for somebody severe with that andropause? A, chemotherapy, B, TRT. I love how they say TRT. I feel super fancy
Mm-hmm.
say that TRT.
Yes.
Um, C, antidepressants only, or D, estrogen therapy. All right, all right, all right. Okay, what are you guys saying? Let's see. I don't know where this new one started, but I'm going with B. The bees have it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Great job. You guys are awesome. Paul coming
Paul
in
came
hot with
in.
8. Okay, with 8. He's changed it to me. Paulie Paul, how are you? All right, it is B.
TRT barbecue.
Yes. Yeah, I thought this was important. I mean, I don't know how you would get it without, but I guess anything else, anything nowadays is possible. But they say TRT should be used under medical supervision when symptoms are severe
Exactly.
and your testosterone is very low. So don't do it without medical supervision. And while we think that might
Uh,
be obvious, I guess you could go to med spas and different places that don't have the medical supervision and get it. So that's kind of important.
yeah.
She
And
says
I think it depends on the state. I think it depends on the state too, though.
okay.
Um, but Darium had a question that I think is really good. Testosterone replacement therapy, and he says, given intramuscularly best at the MLB, or are the pellets good? So I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pharmacist. However, anecdotally and based on even some studies, some medical studies, I think one of them was with the Mayo Clinic, pellets for women and men, which are used, especially with testosterone treatment, and they make a little incision on your upper buttock, like, upper buttock, and they implant these little balls or pellets of hormones. The problem with that is that everybody's body is different and it's hard to tell when it's too much or too little. So you literally have to go through something that's, it's not very invasive, but it's mildly invasive. It's very expensive. And you go through this and you don't know how each individual's body is going to metabolize it. So you might end up like angry and aggressive because your doctor put too many or the doctor put too many pellets in you and your body decided to metabolize it much quicker, while someone else may be perfectly fine. So it's really, that's the issue with pellets. A lot of people are like, well, I'll just do that. I'd rather have the pellets, but the pellets can last 90 days or 6 months, and they're like a time release. They have a time release functionality. So that's the problem with the pellet. I think that's why a lot of men do the shots. So that was it.
Probably. I have a
Good
friend
question.
that takes the pellet, that does the pellet. She said it's more customized to her needs, and this is for menopause. And she does the pellets, and she said that she didn't really say much about the spray, because I said, well, what about the spray of it all? Because if I do something, it's going to be the spray. And she said
Well,
that she did the pellets because she did not want to do the patch. She said because the patch, she works out a lot, right? She sweats a lot.
yes,
And she
yes.
said, her body is warm. This is the friend I was telling you that ran the marathons a lot, and she still was gaining weight, even though she's very physically active and always has been since college days. And even before that, high school, she ran track and everything. So yeah, so she was saying that that's the reason why she didn't get the patch, because she just was, the fear of sweating
Yeah.
and it coming off. So she loves the pellets, but she loves it because that's
For
what she used to
estradiol,
do.
probably estradiol is such a more gentle hormone, and the results and how it manifests is so much gentler. I can tell, a quick story. This, Dee Dee, and I think Taisha knows it as well. But I recently had when I had that recent blood work, including hormone panels, my estradiol, I take the spray. It's called Evamist, and you spray it on your upper arm, your forearm. You can spray it on your thigh. I was doing 2 sprays. Well, guess what? My doctor was like, I have a question to ask you. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? She's like, your hormones are at 523. And if anybody knows the scale, that means that my hormones were like in a follicular phase, like I was 25 years old, which I'm not. I'm twice as old as that.
Mel, you looking 25 though. We gotta give you some confetti. I told Mel,
No,
she's aging like fine wine. Yes, yes,
thank
yes. I love
you.
that.
So anyway, I just think that's kind of funny, y'all. So I just wanted to share that with you. So
So
yeah,
have
so
you
now
scaled it back, right?
yeah, I scaled it back for the month, and then I'm going to either try 1 spray of the Evamist estradiol spray, or I will do the gel, the estradiol gel. I don't want to do the patch either because I'm very active and I shower a couple of times a day and it's too much. But again, the pellets can be good, so don't get me wrong. And there are men and women who love the pellets. So
And
for
she said that
various
she did tell
hormones.
me because I have an appointment coming up here, and I'm thinking about whatever they say. I want to be prepared to do something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, she
Yeah,
told me that it's because it's customized to your body. It's more expensive because obviously also there.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she's like, it is
yeah.
expensive. So she's like, I know you say you're on that
But it's
retirement budget.
estradiol. But look, it's estradiol too. So, and you don't need no pellets. You barely want to take the stuff in the first place, girl.
Oh, I'm all about convenience though. But I think that is just it reminds me of putting on my perfume. I can spray between these my arm right here. I can I can spray put
Yeah, that
on
would be
my
easy.
yes.
And it absorbs very quickly. Literally, I told you my levels were 523. It's ridiculous. My doctor was like, she's like, oh my God, if you had a uterus, I would think you had a tumor in it. She said, but I knew you don't have a uterus.
My
She was like, so
goodness.
I knew it wasn't that. And she says, we got to scale it back. Instead of taking the 2, let's do the 1. Your skin absorbs very quickly. So yeah, we're going to try the 1. And then if it's still too high, my estradiol, then we'll just do the gel. But we're going to try the 1. But right now I got to bring it down from 523 to about 150, which would be a
Jeez
real optimal.
Louise.
Yes.
Wow.
But it
You're
doesn't take long.
optimized.
It only takes a month for it to go down.
Okay. All right, Bill to the B. Good for you. Yeah, when you told me that, I said, I am not surprised because I feel like you have like you're ready to go kid. Ready to go, like you're optimized over there. I
Yes,
love it.
optimized. There's a bunch of activity. I see Teddy came in.
Teddy, how
Um,
are you? All right, Teddy is in the chat.
and Allie from Fit Flavor Fun said medical supervision is so important. Yeah, we can't stress that enough. That is absolutely. Please see a doctor. Don't go online for hormones until you've had panels. If you have panels, I think it's okay if you go to a reputable online provider like MIDI or Ally. But
I think that's a
yeah,
great point. Do not self-diagnose and say, "Oh, I have these symptoms. I'm just gonna, try to treat it." No, you got to still get that blood work. You got to know your numbers. We always say that about, your blood pressure, your A1C. Well, even these hormone numbers, know your number before you take action. And like we say, do it under medical supervision. That's so important. All right. Anything else we're missing?
um,
Mel, I love that she's in here now because she's my moderator and she talks about this chat. So yeah, you go for
the
that
Mary.
chat.
So Mariella says the needle for my husband's testosterone meds are a lot bigger than mine for the GLP-1. Yeah,
Wow,
girl. Mm-mm. Nope. No, thank you. No
they're a
needles.
lot bigger.
A lot of but a lot of men actually go in person and get their shots. I don't if they're taking them monthly. Some men are taking them weekly. I don't know how often, but there are a lot of questions. It says Darium says your GLP-1 needles are subcutaneous below the skin, but the testosterone replacement therapy has to go deep into the muscle, and it's a much thicker substance. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's why a lot of people do pellets for testosterone. And then it must be nice. My scale still says I'm a few years older. That's Teddy. Um, the scale is a liar, Darium says. So Teddy and Darium, the bros are talking. Um,
All
Allie is
right,
saying
here's
hit the
another
like.
question. Here-
Yeah.
Here's a question. Journey of Life says, how do you know you're ready for HRT and is it for everyone? Great question. Great question.
No, it's not for everyone. Um, if you're still having a period, put it this way, all things are not for everybody. And I'll use a really good example. And again, Dee Dee knows this. I think I've mentioned this to her. My younger sister, is in perimenopause. Sometimes when you're in perimenopause, it requires treatment, but not all treatment is built the same. So, not a doctor. However, my sister was still having a period. She has missed one period in like 36 months. And so, but the past 8, 9 months, she's had a period. You have to be extremely careful when you're getting estradiol as a woman in perimenopause if you still have your period. Why? Because the uterine lining can be problematic and you do not want to develop any types of conditions in your uterus, whether it's cervical cancer, and the cervix is a part of the uterus. It's just the bottom part of the uterus, but I digress. The point is that my sister is not going to be taking estradiol yet. What she is going to be taken and has been prescribed is testosterone. So she will be taking testosterone treatment, and she will also be taking uh, Intrarosa or Vagifem, which is a small little, it's like the size of a birth control pill, and it's a little plunger, and you put it inside your vagina like you were putting in a tampon, but it's real, real small. And it is a local estradiol. It does not go throughout your system, so it is not systemic, but it does work on the female part. So for vaginal atrophy, dryness, even if there's moisture on the outside and you feel like, yeah, I'm ready to do this, I want to be with my husband or my significant other. Well, guess what? You might want to, but what happens if the man enters you and inside is dry? That's like razor blade painful from what I've heard. So it's
Oh,
really important to treat that local area. And again, Vagifem, Intrarosa, there's some generics. And I know I have friends even within this community who take it, and it just keeps you juicy, and even the looks of it all. I'll use Didi always of it all. So the looks of it all, everything is it just keeps it good as you age. So that's what she'll be doing. So again, and she's not ready to start estradiol. So it may not be for you. Her hormone levels, and she was taking the hormone test for estradiol every different, because I was coaching her different times of the month, and she's just not ready yet for it. But when she gets ready, she's going to take it. So she started taking a female dose of testosterone and Vagifem. So everything is different for everybody. But now, if you haven't had a period in 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months, a year, you're probably a candidate, because you're not going to have that uterine lining shedding. And as long as you're going through that process, there could be a risk. Now, as you stop having your period, if you do take estradiol, the protective measure is progestin. So you would take estradiol and progesterone, or progestin as they call it, together. So if you have a uterus and you start on estradiol, you will have to take progestin too, because it is protective of the uterus. I don't have a uterus. I have nothing, because when I was in my 30s, it was found that I had severe endometriosis and fibroids, and I had to have a total abdominal hysterectomy. Uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, cervix, everything. So I was able to take estradiol patch back in without progestin. Progestin is good though, because it helps you sleep. But again, if you're a woman with your uterus and you take estradiol, do not let somebody give you estradiol. No, you need to have it prescribed by a doctor, because you need estradiol and progesterone, period, point blank, to protect your uterus. So, all right, I'm sorry, I'm yakking away, but it's
no,
yeah.
I'm like so interested in, I had a thought. It reminds me of Halle Berry. This thought came up when you talk about the Vagifem, because I remember she said that her doctor thought she had a genital
Herpes.
herpes, because she was, down there where she was going through all the things, right? And coming to find out, it was just her, those perimenopause, menopause symptoms. And, here she is thinking, just imagine, you got to go tell your partner. She's like, So she had him checked out, and come to find out, this was all related to, menopause and perimenopause. It wasn't even that she had genital herpes. But that's
Yes.
why it's so important. So even in my, I'm going to see how this goes with my gyno, I want to sound fancy saying gyno. I just love saying gyno instead of gynecologist. But when I go to my gynecologist, she is very knowledgeable. Like, she's on it with like the latest of what you should be doing and when you should do it. But if I get the feeling that she's like brushing me off, or she doesn't really know what she's talking about, she's not well versed, I'm going to be looking for, and I already have it lined up, right? I would go to this specialist, but I trust this lady because I've been working with her for a long time, and she has not steered me wrong yet. But but I do have like a specialist on deck that you was recommended. And just is really like a known a menopause doctor, I guess here. I didn't even know that this person was that. But so that's who my plan B if I go to my doctor and it doesn't work out. But I just think that just being an advocate for yourself. Like that's the theme this week. And really that should
Yes.
be the theme every day of our lives, right?
Yes.
Being an advocate for yourself and speaking up and saying, and I say go in there, journey of life. If you're interested in it or thinking about it, look it up. Go in there with like things written down, because what happens is they overtalk you with these big medical terms and turn your thinking around. And you don't want to do that. You want to go in there also armed with information to be able to say, no, this is what, I'm interested in, and make it seem like you're interested in it. Not that you're just asking them, right? Come in there with an interest and a goal in mind of your own. And I just think that that's the best thing you can do, because I find like when you go in there knowledgeable, they're almost taken aback and they take you more serious when you go in there armed with information. So that's what I plan to do.
Well, or you could be Aditi, you could be like me and fire your doctor via my chart. Literally be going back and forth and having an argument via, not really argument, but a really strong debate. And it was over. I was like, this relationship is over. It's over. You remember her?
Yeah.
What's her Michelle? I mean, what's her name? No, Chrisette Michelle. Yeah, it's over. Like, bye-bye.
Yeah. I love Chrisette Michelle.
Me too. Teddy has a question in there.
All right, Teddy. I think I saw that question. You want to do a recap for him?
Yes. So you want to talk about the symptoms?
What are they saying about my face? What is Daniel saying? I was into it. When she was talking, I was like, that's my Barbara Walters, like my serious, like, okay, she's dropping some serious info down there. She said, hit that like for the juicy verbiage. What is Darium saying about my face? Dee Dee's expression is yeah. It's so funny because when Mel starts talking about the vagina, dare we say vagina on the internet, on YouTube, when she starts talking about that badger fib, and just how it's like glass down there, that's really tricky for me.
Razor blade. That's the understanding.
Razor blades. That makes me so comfortable because I can't even imagine.
I know. But so Teddy was asking about andropause and symptoms, fatigue, Teddy, low libido, mood swings, sleep issues, muscle loss. Yeah, there are a lot of things. Even men even go through like hot sweats and things like that, Teddy. So yeah, and it can start in the 30s and like mid to late 30s and go on progressively throughout the decades, but it's slower for men. So women, we just drop off estrogen like boom, and then boom, like whereas with men, it is gradual. You still have midlife issues as a man, obviously, and there will be midlife lower testosterone, but it does not impact libido the way menopause can affect, I'm sorry, it doesn't, not libido, it impacts libido. However, it doesn't impact fertility. So the difference between menopause and andropause is menopause is finite. It's going to happen. As a woman, there will come a time where you will not make enough eggs to fertilize and to have a baby. It's just not going to happen. Whereas with men, it does not impact fertility like that. Men, if you notice, 60 years old, 70, and oops,
No,
somebody's
I know
pregnant.
somebody who made a baby at 70, and actually, the son is in his 20s, and the man is in his 90s. Isn't that? I mean, it's just unbelievable. But yes,
Child, please.
he's living La Vida Loca to see that child. His son is in his 20s.
Yeah.
Let's say he's almost in his mid 20s. Okay, yes, yeah. Well, okay, we had another question. Here we go. And no question is a silly question, actually, but is it true that bold men have higher levels of testosterone? What do we mean by bold men? Am I missing something? Is that a trick?
She might be saying that bold men. Oh, I don't know. No, I don't. I think she's talking about like men who are aggressive and outspoken. You
Oh,
know,
oh.
not for nothing,
But
but
bravado,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, anecdotally perhaps, but I don't think that there's any science that backs that up. I think if that's what you mean, Mariella, we could be wrong.
no, bold men. Okay, yeah, that's a question for us to find out and get back to you. He says, I love the verbiage here, juicy. Well, that's why we got to stay juicy. That's why we need that Vagifem. Mel says, I'm Vagifem. I'm going to ask my doctor about that. I wonder what she's going to say.
It's just it's so true, and yeah, it's very interesting, very
Now,
interesting.
Bernie, do you mind asking us asking how old you are? How old are you? And you could just tell me. You don't have to tell me anything actually, but if you don't want to say your age, like what are you in your 30s, 40s, 50s? What decade are you repping? You guys are so funny. Hit that like for the juicy verbiage. I just saw that. Geez, so yeah, thank you, twin. Help me out here. Darian, what is he saying? Darian's always saying something. Okay, did you see this comment, Mel? She
Which
says
one?
also, Allie was saying be an advocate for yourself. And JC was
Yeah.
saying advocate also when you shouldn't be on certain meds as well. I've done this a few times with blood pressure pills. I have an allergy to certain additives in pills and had to stop taking the med. Very good. So did you tell your doctor
Mm.
gave you a hard time about that? Um Darian, Darian says, take a sip right now from your sparkling ACV water. Oh, good.
Yes, it's so good. That's what I'm drinking.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
there's a question. Oh, wait, that was Journey. We answered that. And Teddy answered his
Oh,
question.
Paul says, I think they got less testosterone because they're trying to overcompensate. Oh, okay, okay. All right. That could be true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very true.
Oh, Ben
Sometimes I
Polo
see
was
these
gonna say
men
that.
in these big trucks, and they're all vroom vroom, and then you get to the gas station and they jump out and they're like my height. And I'm
Oh wow.
like, dude, stop.
Well, that's called
I'm
something
sorry, guys.
else. Well, Darian said you want to tackle this one. Oh, phentermine too. Jeez Louise. Well, it's not really a question, it's a statement. Do you want to read that, Mel? I could read it.
Oh, okay. I'll read it because your glasses. I follow I follow
I
a
follow a
creator on.
creator on YouTube who is on TRT and phentermine journey. He mentioned that his primal senses are heightened as he's taking his TRT. It could be a correlation, but I don't know. What do you think about that, Mel?
I think phentermine is crazy. It's I tried phentermine uh right before getting on GLP-1 last year and last March. It had me amped up. I'm already like a hyper
Go
person.
Mel.
So
Go
for
Mel.
phentermine and testosterone, go Mel, go Mel. No, yeah, Darium. I think there's a correlation. Um, but I don't know how phentermine impacts. I mean, it's a stimulant, so it could impact. I'm gonna have to look into that. Let me see what I can find on that as Dee Dee continues. Because
Now,
give me a
did
second.
that affect your sleep by a bit? Because I know you probably take it during the day in the morning. What probably would be
Oh,
best if it's a
oh,
stimulant. But
I
did you
was at,
sleep? Did it affect your sleep at all?
yes, it did affect my
Okay.
sleep. I was like, I can't do this. This is making me crazy. And then she finally convinced me. She was like, look, my husband's on it. She said, even I take it sometimes. I'm talking about GLP-1s. And that's when I started. So as a treatment for overweight with comorbidities is what it was. Let's see, phentermine and sexual stimulation. Guys, these are not bad words. We should be able to say vagina, penis.
You
Like we
can't.
all,
You can say that on YouTube. You can say vagina and penis. I think you can.
well, somebody was in here and I think it was, I'm not going to say who it was, said something about something being juicy or something, and they held the comment for review.
What?
But it was basically you or your moderators can review it. So I
Okay.
released
All
it.
right.
I think
Jeez,
I
oh
did.
me.
It says here, oh, okay, so Daria might have a point. Phentermine, a medication used for weight loss, can affect sex drive in some people. Some people, hashtag not a doctor, increase sex drives. Some users may experience an increase in sex drive due to the stimulant effects of phentermine. Decrease sex drive. Others may experience a decrease in sex drive, especially in women. Figures.
Of
This
course.
may be related, of course, to changes in hormone levels or reduced arousal. And then when it comes to erectile dysfunction, in men, phentermine can sometimes cause erectile dysfunction. So take your chance. Pick a side, pick a side. The
Yeah.
phentermine and the small chance of erectile dysfunction, or no phentermine and just work on lifestyle changes, take some testosterone therapy. And if you're if you have overweight or have obesity, GLP1's, the triple
It
threat,
sounds like
the
this guy
combination.
Darium should do to get the GLP-1. As I'm reading that, it says, or to he should try it. And I don't know, maybe he's tried it before or he's against it. I wonder. He said that the TRT increases the appetite and the phentermine help to balance the hunger because he's on a weight loss journey. So I don't know, why doesn't he just get the GLP-1? Like, hook him up, Darium. Tell him to talk to his doctor about it. Jeez,
Yeah.
Louise.
Everybody's different though. So clearly this is, and it says here, discuss with a healthcare professional if you are considering taking phentermine and have concerns about its potential effects on your sex drive. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So Bellflower was saying, you just can't type them or you will get blocked, but you can say, so you can say penis, vagina, but you can't type it.
Okay. Penis, 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 vagina, vagina, vagina.
You're gonna be like the candy man.
I'm sorry,
You're gonna
guys.
have
I
a,
apologize.
you're gonna have a Chippendale stripper show up behind you. Remember the candy man?
When
Oh
I
man.
when I did
No,
that,
I
when I said
don't say
penis,
that.
Dee Dee, when I said penis, 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 you were like,
Well, I was gonna say it, but I thought, what if somebody plays this back from my daughter one day? She's gonna see me saying,
blame it on me. Blame it on me.
well, yeah, she can see you saying it. That is too funny. All right, diabetes, heart disease, obesity all have a negative impact on the brain function. And when we get healthier and our hormones are functional, our brain and primal senses will function better. Yes, yes, yes. JC,
Love
you're
that.
always coming in with the knowledge. Jeez,
Yes.
Louise, I love
Great
that.
point.
Very good.
Always.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What are some of these other questions? Advocate. It says an advocate. Oh, wait. Thank you for confirming. That's something else. Okay. It
Paul says, Mighty Mel is laying it down. WB, welcome to the chat. She says, I'm late to the party. I just wanted to say hi, Diva. Hello, hello. How are you? How are you on this
says,
Friday? This is a long weekend. We should have had a block party. How do you have a block
oh,
party on YouTube? I don't know. We got to
yes.
figure that out. We got to figure that out. I love that. Taisha says, I definitely had an increase. I did nothing to curb my appetite. Oh, an
Oh
increase.
my God.
Oh,
Dee Dee.
she's talking
Allie,
about,
Allie says, Allie said, what am I watching? My wife is like, what is that?
tell your wife to join the party. We're talking about, what are we? We're talking about andropause. We're talking about menopause. We're talking about, she probably heard you say those words over and over. Is that what her wife heard?
Probably. Because I really want to socialize this idea of talking about our whole body, pancreas. Okay, fine. But we're a whole human, and we need to be transparent, acknowledge our bodies, be kind to our bodies, say the technical words that describe our bodies, whether, and I don't have to continue saying it, but again, we need to stop stigmatizing it the same way we need to stop stigmatizing the condition of overweight and the disease of obesity. We need to stop stigmatizing our bodies just by saying words about things that are on our bodies, in our bodies. Like, let's stop. And I'm a true advocate for that. I talked to my mom and I'm like, so when you were in the WHI, because my mom was in the Women's Health Initiative, like, what did they do? I was asking her a couple weeks ago. I said to her, what were the genitourinary symptoms of menopause that they identified? And she was like, what? She was like, and I was explaining, I said, it's your vagina. And then I started describing to her and she was like, okay, Mel.
Well, I'm sure, in her time, they probably really didn't talk about it. It was,
No.
taboo.
Right.
And, kids, being an elementary teacher, we don't want kids walking around saying, even though it's vagina is like the medical name or the term for your,
yes.
Body part. It's just, you encourage them not to say it and talk about it. You can't talk about any of that. It's like off limits, especially nowadays.
But would we rather teach children to say, like, we're calling it all these play names? No, it's a vagina. His is not a wee-wee. It's a penis.
Mm-hmm.
We have ovaries, my fallopian tubes.
Now, yeah, but I mean, in a school setting, like, we don't need to be, unless you're in a health class, you don't need to be talking.
Oh, no, not in a school seat, not in it. But high schoolers, when they're talking about it, like, we would laugh, like sex education, we'd be in there cracking up, being silly when they were talking about it. I don't remember them talking about the vagina, talking about the penis, talking about vaginal atrophy, talking about, all these things. I don't remember them talking about it.
Well, kids are very aware of their bodies and the whole body situation. We take brain breaks, and I play, the brain breaks from YouTube. I said, I hope my videos don't pop up.
Oh my God, I know, right?
They haven't yet, but some other people's videos like pop up on my feed, and I'm like, what? But this is like my school YouTube channel. This is not channel, but YouTube I'm using. This is not, my personal. But anyway, but some people's stuff still pops up in there, and I'm like, wait a minute, I hope mine doesn't pop up. But when the kids see like a swimsuit or like a person in a their underwear, or like it could be like a pajama commercial or like a underwear commercial, they get like, these are 8, some of them are 7 turning 8, 8 turning 9. They get so embarrassed, like they already know, like almost like it's to be ashamed of your body, not that, because you can't see anything.
Right.
They can literally be at the beach and they still think it gets this whole like shameful thing going on. And it's just amazing, like at those young ages. And they do that in kindergarten, first grade, So at those young ages, they've already learned a certain thing about the shame of it all with your body,
Yes.
But that's just where we're at. We're gonna have to get you.
Hey, by the way, Jen came in here hot and heavy. She came out of the bushes. She said something funny. What did she say? Oh, she was just like, what did I miss? And Nicole said everything. And Kate said, oh, so much. And Jen said, I heard vagina. I'm here for the adult talk.
He said,
I jumped over a lot.
Channel is going to be banned in advance. Mel is banned before she even gets started. That is too funny. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Anatomy pep rally.
Yes, anatomy pep rally.
As our band director. I have the knowledge. It's the doing where there is the struggle. Yes, that is so me too. Yeah. Yes, I know what to do, and it's just like doing it is a struggle. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
So, I want you guys to send prayers out to me because tomorrow, whatever you do, is positive vibes, prayers, because tomorrow is my little DEXA scan. And I'm just so like, I don't know what's going to happen with this DEXA scan. I'm just praying that I don't lose muscle. And I'm praying that I just
yeah.
don't go down. I want to either maintain or do something, but I don't know, Mel. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's all
I
right.
think you're
No
going to be
matter whatever
fine.
it is. You think I'm going to be fine? Yeah,
I'm
I feel like I've
excited.
just had so many like ups and downs, and I've just been going in circles. You know that song, "You Got Me Going in Circles." But that's okay. So my next DEXA after this one, I'm not gonna get until I'm 100 pounds down. When I'm 100 pounds down, we're gonna have a party in these YouTube streets. Okay, we're gonna have a party. I'm gonna be inviting everybody to my 100 pounds down. I'm like, geez, oh man, this is like so exciting for me. So I got to get my buns going. But yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. Speaking of anatomy and parts and all that, I had thought about that. So, what else are
Yes.
you seeing in the chat? Mail to the beach. Okay, what does Jen want to talk about? What does she want us to talk about with the vagina?
Nothing. She just was saying she was wondering what we were talking about, and we were just talking about, socializing, the ability to talk about our bodies in a meaningful, respectful way versus calling it wee wee and key and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah. We were just having that conversation.
Taisha
Um,
said her granny didn't use the cutesy names. She used the medical names. I love that. I really love that. Yeah, that's gonna. Do I use? I think I have used the. I said to my daughter private parts, so I don't think I've really gone there with the verbiage. But now, I feel like I should. But then I don't want her to go to school and say it, so I'll do it in the summer when she won't risk saying it right away. You know how the kids learn a big fancy word
yeah.
and that's all they say. So can you imagine my daughter going to school and saying,
Oh my
"My
God.
mom was on YouTube talking on her channel about vaginas."
Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. But I would rather a child to hear that, and I'd rather them hear it like from like Taisha said about her grandmother. Um, yeah, I'm surprised Dee Dee didn't start singing Juicy Fruit when Mel said juicy. I'm sorry, I skipped all the way down. JC made a really good comment saying for children, more is caught than taught. So they react based on how adults act or react around these discussions. And that's true. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
that's
Well, I
true.
mean, I
That's
agree.
true. That
Yeah.
is
And
true.
Nicole said part of it is over sexualizing everything, even when you're just trying to educate. Absolutely. Over sexualizing. I completely agree.
Oh, I love
Um,
that. And here she comes in giving the cutesy name. Grace said eggplants and kiwi. Now I didn't know it was called kiwis. Okay, so where have I been? Kiwis. Okay.
no, I've heard that.
Now why
That's
is
true.
it okay? So I just gotta ask, why is it kiwis? Because it has fuzzy. I know a peach is what I always would. Did you
Well,
guys
that's a
ever see?
but.
Have you guys ever seen that movie Face Off? With John Travolta and
Yes.
What's his name? Nicolas Cage. That's a good movie, but every time he was referring to something sexual, and it's the sad part, it was his daughter she was 18, I think, but she still was way too young for him. He would eat a peach in a reference to like the sexual connotation of it all. So I just wonder, is that why the kiwi is like that? Because it has like a little fuzz on it.
Oh my goodness, Lord.
Oh,
Probably because the kiwi
oh
is
my goodness.
shaped, it's just a regular round. It's not like a peach because a peach does look kind of like a butt.
The
Whereas a
kiwi is kind of
kiwi,
oval, right? Isn't it a little bit more oval? A kiwi.
sorry,
I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not down with is this
sorry.
a TikTok lingo? I'm not down with the emojis of it all. I don't know what is going on.
Okay. Just,
Part of it is over sexualizing everything when you are just trying to educate. Yes, everything is sexualized. It really is.
uh,
It's the adults doing it too. All right, thank you, Allie.
D,
She says,
D,
prayers. You will do great in the DEXA scan. Yes, yes, yes. I hope so. I'm gonna think positive about it. If not, when you guys see my thumbnail with me crying on it, you're gonna be like, oh, tag Dee Dee had the DEXA.
Interesting. Dee Dee, so there's a question that Gray's asked, but before I say that, Darian said, please bless Dee Dee at her DEXA scan. I hope the
Thank
juiciness
you.
does not equate to water weight.
Jeez, Louise, Darian, you are too funny.
And
Darian, I'm gonna go to the restroom like 4 times before I go up in there tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, I gotta use the restroom. She's gonna be like, geez, oh man, you've been already.
yeah, I know, you know.
Party
Jeez.
in these GLP-1 streets. I love it. I love it. All right, Mel, did you see a question? I came in at that
Well,
right in the moment.
well, yeah, Jen is funny. Losing It Grace says, I'm curious if you noticed on the cruise gym, they have one of those in-body scans. Do you think that's worth exploring when I'm on board? Found a DEXA near me for $235, a little steep. Yeah, the in-body scan on the cruises, the one we were on, was expensive too. It was a couple $100s. So I would say, I know that local gyms have in-body scans. I know Orange Theory Fitness does. And you could go in there one day, take a free class because they let you take a free class. You could just go in there, walk on the treadmill, check the facility out, and tell them you want an in-body scan. That's what I would do, because on the cruises they cost about 200 and something. But that's crazy. DexaFit, Grace, you live in Florida like I do. DexaFit is everywhere. I'm going to see if I can ask anybody I know. I'm going to ask my doctor if there's a place for less expensive body composition DEXA scans for you, and I'll let you know, Grace.
Yeah, perfectly, Pamela. I miss my juicy fruit. I miss the opportunity. It'll come up because I feel like that word's gonna be in this chat. Well, even if you don't, Dee Dee, the kids her age at school are already talking about, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And she's heard some things from them and she's asked me, and I thought, I'm not ready. Jeez, Louise. The mail to be. I'm curious if you noticed. Okay, did you answer that? And I was looking at the comments. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So
No, it's okay.
the DEXA for you is $235. See if they have a coupon or something. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I live in Florida, and they have DexaFit. So I don't know if, Grace, you guys have DexaFit up where you are. I won't say your city to protect your privacy, but yeah, I'm really surprised. I'm going to look into it
I'm
for
gonna
her
tell you,
though.
DEXA, if you go on their website, they usually have a coupon. It's like usually a standing coupon. And then when there's something, so they tend to have sales that correlate with holidays, or like, I know for like the Women's International Day, they had like a little discount on there. So they may have something for Labor Day. They may have something coming up for Veterans Day. I don't know how soon you want to get it, but I would even call and ask that. When is your next coupon? The $235 is a lot. I mean, I would do it.
Hey,
For me, it's
well,
worth it, but I just would look for a coupon. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, Jen said, again, here we go, same concept. Jen said, I saw someone who goes to 24-hour fitness that did free in-body scan. Yeah, the gyms, my gym has one, an in-body scan. My doctor's office also has one. But I think this is about competition in the various cities. Whether or not there's a lot of competition is when those prices go down. But I'm going to look into it for Grace anyway. But that's true, Jen. A lot of gyms have them. So that's good. 24-hour fitness, Grace, if you have one near you.
She might want the gold standard though.
I would get the gold standard, but an in-body scan is probably the next thing on the rung. I don't care what anybody says. I know everybody's going to be like, but my smart scale, yes, it helps you directionally, but it doesn't do an x-ray of your body, period. It just doesn't. It's not, and everybody I've talked to has said that the most important numbers, fat mass, lean tissue, were off. The weight, usually about the same. Other than that, most of those really important markers were incorrect. So I would say, yeah, get a DEXA scan. And if you just are like, no, I refuse to pay for a DEXA scan, even $99, then an in-body scan would be the next best thing, because the in-body scans was way closer to the DEXA scan, but it didn't give, like, I didn't really, it was off a little, but it wasn't off like the smart scale. And I have a smart scale. and it sucks. It gets my weight right. That's it. So just saying.
Just saying. Now, are you weighing? You're in maintenance, so are you weighing in every day still, Mel? I should know that, but I don't remember.
Not every day, probably a couple times a week, and I don't even know why. It's mostly for my app, just to kind of track,
Okay.
things.
You told me
But
your scale used to be like
you know,
right there.
I have 2 scales actually. I have a smart scale and another digital scale. But I'm like just living the dream over here and just enjoying life and just not stressing too much about it. I really have to I have to give myself grace, and I don't even know why I don't. I just, what? I'm just enjoying all the things, the whole health journey. I'm just enjoying it. So I guess it's not hard for me, but right now that I'm in maintenance, yeah, yeah.
All right, very good, very good.
So no, I don't weigh every day.
And I'm excited to have missed 2 periods. I am happy to move on to the next stage. I am 52. Well, 2,
Who would have
when
thought we'd
you're
be
on your
clapping?
way,
You missed 2 periods. Yes.
but I mean, geez,
Just
Louise, I
joking.
mean, you gotta let me know when you miss like 6, because you can miss like 2 or 3, and then you have a cycle again. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to like
Yeah.
I don't want to like steal your thunder or do any, make you feel like, oh God, you might have one. But I'm just saying, like I was like that too, like 2 months in a row, 3 months in a row, and then that 3rd, 4th month, and it had a cycle. I'm like, what in the world? So yeah, but hopefully you are on your way. You're 52, so you said you're so ready. I've even heard that postmenopausal is just as a head trip as the peri, and actually, the other process.
Well, yeah. Well, perimenopause is where the chaos lives. And that quote comes from Mary Claire Haver, Dr. Haver, who I adore. Perimenopause is where a lot of the chaos, because you don't know what's going on. Many people have a hard time identifying what it's happening. You know what I'm saying? So, and whereas with postmenopause, there are the long-term sort of unseen impacts like bone loss, sarcopenia, dry skin, atrophy of the vagina, inside the vagina and outside. You're not even getting moist on the outside. The inside is like razor blades, all the things. Those are the types of things that are going to happen post-menopause. So it's not like it gets better. We don't grow additional estradiol. It just doesn't happen.
And I've never heard a woman talking about feeling like it was razor blades
Well,
in her
nobody's
vagina.
going to come up and tell you that.
Yeah, I think women are just so embarrassed to kind of say that. I wonder what these conversations are like with your partner or with your spouse, or your husband and wife. Like, what are these conversations about? Like,
hopefully you're not like Halle Berry coming back from the doctor saying that the doctor said he thinks she has herpes, and accusing her boyfriend of giving her herpes, who she had been with for like 8 years. They're still together. They've been together for a long time. And yeah, hopefully it's not that, right? You really do need to have open conversations. That's one of my requirements. That's one of my values, is somebody who is focused on their health and who doesn't mind being open and discussing it. That literally is on my list that I made for my dating coach. And yes, I do have a dating coach. That's a whole different conversation. But yeah. So anywho.
So are you gonna say to him, Mel, like, what are your testosterone? What does your testosterone hormones look like? Have you checked your hormone panels? What are you gonna
Yeah, I would be like, what's your panels? Here's mine. Can I have yours? No. No, I'm just gonna, I have some questions written down that will help me start having a conversation after I decide I want to date somebody exclusively. I literally have questions that are written down to help kind of ease into that conversation without being aggressive and without being, imposing and stuff like that on the man. So that was part of the dating coaching, was coming up with fun ways. Like, for example, when you're talking to a man and you guys are starting to be exclusively dating and you want to know about his financial stability, you could start the conversation. I came up with a conversation starter, and the conversation starter is, you know what? I forgot I wanted to play the lotto. And then he'll be like, oh, you play the lotto? And I'd be like, yeah. What would you do if you won $10 million? And depending on how he answers, if he said, me and my boys, we're going to go to Vegas and turn up. Next, you're not aligned with me. However, if he said, I'd call an attorney, I'd call a financial advisor or something like that, we may have that alignment. So yeah, I actually literally have questions to uncover stuff. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. Okay. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna have to get Mel in the interview. We talked about interviewing. We just haven't. We talk about everything else but that. He wants to hear your
Everything.
origin story. Okay. All right. All right. He said the GLP-1. That's too funny. All right. Darium has a question. When asking for the DEXA, what should we be asking for? I want to know more than just a surface screen. We want analysis.
Well, Darium, in order to respect people's time so that people can go to sleep until, before we get into Saturday, I would just say that a DEXA scan is the gold standard at a body composition, not the one for bone density. That's different. But the DEXA scan actually is a low X-ray device that you lay on, and it scans your body. It looks right through you, and it identifies it. There's like a heat chart, and that heat chart shows you where fat is located on your body, different colors. It's color coded, and where your lean mass is. And your lean mass includes all the other tissues in your body outside of fat. It's incredible. Even if you're wearing clothes, it'll actually take all of your body parts, everything in your body, and tell you what your weight is minus the clothes. A lot of people don't know that. But it also gives you that lean mass, the visceral fat. How many actual pounds in visceral fat around your organs do you have? That's incredible. It also tells you your lean muscle by limb. So right arm, right leg, left leg. There's just a whole lot to it. I could get into it, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm sure Dee Dee doesn't want me to. So yeah, we'll talk about that in detail. Call me.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk when I get my DEXA scan. We're going to be talking about our scan.
Yes.
Remember, we're going to talk about it. So yeah,
That's
we'll
right,
be.
because I just got one.
Yeah, you just got one. Yeah, so we'll talk about it. Dating etiquette
Toe
has
and block.
changed so much. Wait. Darium, you are something else. Wait, Kate, let's go back to Kate. I'm guessing the conversation is ouch, ouch, ouch. She said she can't help herself. Now, what does this mean? He's Po and Block.
I don't know what Jim was referring to. He's Po and Block. Probably something we said. Oh, okay. We're probably talking about finances when we were talking about finances, because yeah. Yeah.
Grace said dating etiquette has changed so much. Mail to the beat. Who pays for dinner? Is he a winner?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this. I am not paying for a ninja's dinner. It's not happening. Okay? It's not happening. God has told me I shouldn't. I like evoking. I'm going to invoke God. I'm going to put God in this, okay? No, I am not doing that. I don't need to do that. I'm not going to do it ever. Well, unless we're in a serious relationship, but just dating, no. Mm-mm. No.
Darius says, hold up, wait a minute. All right, so Kate is also single in here. Kate, are you paying for dinner for the guy? Are you paying ever? Are you paying? I want to know from Miss Kate here. You want to blow your 1 billion lottery winnings with your boyfriend? Hey.
I missed that. Where is that?
No thanks.
Oh,
we are misaligned.
Okay. We are misaligned. Exactly. So that is very important. Y'all just telling you.
Mel got serious about that dinner. She said, I got to invoke God on this one.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't. No, no. I'll take myself to dinner by myself if that's the
Oh
case.
gosh,
Like,
that's
yeah.
so funny. Mel is clutching her
Just think
pearl.
about it.
Yeah, geez, Louise. Darian said, hold up, wait a minute. Darian,
I mean,
oh, geez, Louise. That's a good laugh before I get out of here. Geez, Louise. May that love never find me. Jeez, Louise. Okay, what is my girl Kate saying here? She says, I will pay only if I ask him out to dinner. Okay, yeah, I would agree with that.
that's fair. That's
Mel is
fair.
definitely about that life. I knew you was-
Because I am sorry. No, no, Paul.
Oh my goodness. That is so funny. JC says, I don't know. LOL. My husband in first date did not pay for dinner. At our second date, we each paid for our $5 footlong at Subway. Fast forward to
Oh,
3 years, he paid off the balance. Oh my goodness. JC. Yes, yes, yes,
bravo.
yes. I love it.
I love that. I
Oh
love it.
goodness. So Mel, you could be missing your you could be
Well,
missing.
we have to get to so the thing is that I would not like now. I don't think, and like I would probably stay away from going on a first date like somewhere for more than an hour and a half or two. Like that short date. I mean, that first date would be pretty short, and it would be coffee or a drink. Yeah, I don't want to be in a situation where someone pays for a luxurious dinner for me and then I don't see him again because it's
Yeah.
likely that if I didn't think right. So it would have to be something like that. But
Okay.
no, and I agree. I agree, JC. Those situations happen, but for me, I'm not paying for a man. I'm not doing that. Like I'm not going to do it. I just won't. I just don't want to. Yeah, that's it. I just don't want to. I don't. I mean, I don't know what more to
She
say, but
said,
I do agree.
but wait, my girl Beth fell asleep and she came back on here. Jeez Louise, she said, when I went to Menopause for hell, Mel, you gotta read this. I have the giggles.
Wait a minute. When I
Gotta
went,
read
okay,
this.
fell asleep, these meds. When I went to menopause for a whole year with no period, after the year, my period showed up, came back to take my life. Oh no, Bev. It was so bad and painful. Thank God. Done. Good riddance. I know
All
that's
right,
right.
yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Yes,
Yes.
the giggles from these comments with Mel and her saying she's not paying for a dinner. It's just funny. Okay, Grace, did you see Grace's comment?
Or
He asked me, then
don't
it's
forget.
pay, go Dutch. Oh, hell to the no. Okay, all right, I get that. Yes. Yeah, I
Yes.
agree. Don't forget when you go to that dinner and he's paying, the Holy Ghost told you to order the lobster.
Lobster.
Our first date was a concert. I had VIP passes too. Okay, very cool. I love that. All right, Kate said
Yeah.
yes. Short first date is what is she trying to say there? Geez, oh man, that was
Um, don't sell it. Okay. Where am I? Oh, our first date was yes, short first date is a something. But so our coffee dates taboo in 2025? Walks on the boardwalk. Well, I did mention coffee date. Walks on the boardwalk, doing laps at the track, not good first dates. I would probably be more likely to, yeah, I would go to a gym I would meet somebody for a workout. I would definitely do that, and I would do coffee. I don't know about laps at the track because I'm not like my ancestors running for my life. I don't believe in doing a bunch of cardio that raises my cortisol and slows my metabolism down and possibly injures my knee or some joint. So yeah, I would never be doing laps at a track on a first date or second or third or fourth. So
so funny.
I'm just not going to be doing that. Um,
It sounds is not. I love that. I think a first date also is a good first date is like when you have your first date, it's like somewhere where you can talk, where it's intimate, where it's not expensive because you don't want to feel obligated. I've been in those situations where, it's like you went to a nice
Yes,
expensive dinner and then it's nothing going to happen after this. And then they call you and you have to
yes,
tell them and then they feel, kind of shaded because they've spent money. So I love the idea of like a Starbucks or like a coffee house,
yes,
something like that,
yes.
to know if you would even have
Love
a
it.
second date. Yeah, I love that. That's a good thing. Or meeting somewhere like, just yeah, just low key, like a just quick date. You don't even have to stay long. Like I would max it out to an hour.
Darium is still on the laps at the track.
He said
It
laps on the
says,
track. What?
yeah, he said laps at the track allow you more of a chance to talk without the noise of a gym, fresh air, and closing those rings. Well, so does walking along the beach and stopping at a beach cafe where you can have a really great beach view and just having some sparkling water or a glass of wine or champagne or something. So to me, that's more in my lane. I'm not really a girl who wants to be around tracks on a first date. We can talk at a nice, quiet cafe, Darian.
You had said you can talk on the first date, Dario. Dario just wants to get under your skin. So our coffee date
I know.
taboo in 2025 walks on the boardwalk doing laps at the track, not for the laps at the track. No, I would not be one to do laps at the track
Yeah,
on the first date. Now that, but
no.
the other ones are fine. That short date seems feasible, Mel, because if you end up not wanting to see him again, he won't feel bad. Excellent. Yes, I love.
Exactly. That's
They
absolutely.
can pay
But
for it,
I,
says Bellflower, but I won't be able to eat much of it.
yeah, it
Or
may not be
going
the
to dinner may not be
move.
the
That's right.
mood.
That's
Okay,
true.
so she's laughing at you, Mel. Laps at the track, you Darium. I think you read that. Fresh air and closing those rings. What rings?
You know Darian. He's very
Darium is so
descriptive.
funny. All right, well, we could get out of here. This is it. Anybody want to celebrate any victories? Anything you're celebrating tonight before we head out of here? Thank you guys. I do want to mention I do have Darium. You already know because you have your numbers. But any ladies, if you have a guy, check out my stand store because I do have a free laps at the track. He got a new velour. You're gonna be
A new velour track.
that velour tracksuit. It's so funny because I started to wear a velour blazer. I would have been hot up in there in this blazer. Jeez, Louise. I had a velour blazer and I didn't wear it. But okay, so I have a free symptoms checklist. If you know a guy or just know someone who wants to see if they have possible
Yeah.
andropause, go to my stand store. I have some freebies in there for you with this topic, andropause, because we thought, hey, maybe they want to do like a little screener, a symptom checklist. Actually, go to that doctor and get that blood drawn. All right, so I say let's work on that low estrogen and let's work on those low T's, low testosterone. How about that, Mel?
Yes, I say let's do it. Let's just take care of ourselves, men and women. Come on, y'all. Let's do this. Gen X and millennials, the older millennials, not the whiny younger ones, but Gen X and millennials, we really need to change the narrative, not just around the disease of obesity and the condition of overweight, but also hormone optimization. And we don't have to be like these gym bros on YouTube and all this other foolishness. We can approach it in a much like gentler way. Like I feel like we just need to talk about it. Let's
Yeah,
normalize it. And let's be the first generation where men actually live on average long over 80. Right now men are passing away extremely um early, and women are living well into their 90s, but they don't have health span. They're very unhealthy, many of them. And by the way, one thing I didn't mention, and I know we're going to do more conversation. Dee Dee has already said we're going to be doing some menopause stuff in September, but one of the biggest symptoms that also leads to infection and death in women as they age, and of course, way post menopause, it are UTIs. And the UTIs are caused, and you all can all look this up. These are valid medical sources, Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, all these places where they get urinary tract infections. And imagine being in your 80s and 90s with a UTI.
It's so painful when you're older.
Yeah, and then because it's a lot. But then after that, many people go in with one condition and it spurs the UTI, and then they ended up having an infection. It's and it just causes a lot of pain. So we really need to optimize our hormones, women and men, to get prostate exams like Charles said, and just do the things, y'all. Don't be afraid. Let's have fun. Let's have fun as we're aging. So
Yeah,
that's all.
yeah, we want to age and we want to be able to be up and out and running around and doing the things and not,
Yes.
sitting around and can't do anything. I love that. So, because who wants to be 90 and you can't even still move? I see some people still moving and mobile and driving in when they're in their 90s. My grandmother was one of those people, and I just love that. I want that for myself. Jeez,
Me
Louise.
too.
Well,
Me
you know
too.
what? You're gonna get me doing the ugly Oprah cry up in here talking about this, but here my girl Bev is. She said, finally,
Oh,
Bev, go Bev, go Bev. She
yes.
said, finally this week I've lost 3.6 pounds. I was so happy. And she did that Wegovy switch. She
I
switched from
know.
Wegovy to Zepbound. And because they didn't put her on a compatible dose, she had to start over. It was a struggle for her.
Yeah,
And so now I said, Bev, you got to stick in there. It's going to show off eventually. That weight loss, that weight's going to come off.
I love it.
So finally, Bev, let's give her some confetti. Bev, good for you.
Congratulations.
She changed her
Oh,
profile. Thinking, she's still looking fabulous, isn't she? Beverly,
thank you.
congratulations on that. I know you probably are feeling good. I was very intentional about my carb intake this week. Okay, very good. Very good. She says, yes.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right.
Thanks,
Okay. Let's
Allie.
talk about that velour suit, Allie.
Allie,
This is
thank you.
fun
You're
and
so sweet.
informative. Good night. Good night. Okay, let's see. We gotta get through these last
Brenda.
UTI and razor blades are terrible. Yes. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to think about it. Jeez, Louise. This was great.
Look
So informative. We'll be
at
catching
Brenda's
you
comment.
the beginning later. Mel, nice to see you live. Thanks, Dee Dee. Darian makes me. I
Thank
love
you.
Mel
Thank
too.
you, guys.
You are both stunning, intelligent. We appreciate you both. Sending you both love. Thank you for the phenomenal live. Thank you. Thank you, Allie, for joining us. Join us anytime. We love
Thanks,
having you
Allie.
here. Thank you. Oh, Brenda, your mom passed from sepsis
Oh,
due to an undiagnosed UTI that looked like a stroke. You are kidding me. Jeez, Louise. Oh my gosh. And doesn't that make you just think like, wow, if someone is that considered, would that be like a malpractice though, that they didn't find that? Oh my, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I don't know.
Goodness. All right. Well, you know what? I think I'm glad you shared that, because that's anybody catching this or watching this, that's going to give them, probably a push to like, let me get this checked out. Because when you go to the restroom and it doesn't feel quite right, you should be on that with the doctor right away. I mean, you should be on it. My daughter's even on it when, she poops and her poop is not the color it's supposed to be. It usually is. She'll let me know, like, Mom, come and look at it. So, yeah, we got to be on that.
Oh,
All right. I'm sorry, Brenda. All
yeah,
right.
very
Thank
fun.
you. You are welcome. Thanks for hanging out. You guys, this was awesome. We didn't know how this was going to go. We just knew we wanted to share. Darian, thank you for giving us the idea. She says,
Yeah.
girl, I'm going to call that pic my COVID pic. I know, because you're not feeling well. I took that picture at a funeral 2 weeks ago that's when you caught COVID. Yeah. Oh,
I
Bev.
had it too. I had it
Yeah.
like a month and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for keeping me posted and letting me know what's going on. When I didn't see you, I'm like, what's going on with my girl, Beth? UTIs are dangerous. Yes. And a lot of people don't talk about so much about that because you don't really hear about it. I think I knew because of grandparents getting older, and I just know when they get it, it's like not like how when you're younger and you get it, it's more serious. It really is.
Yes.
Reset with Anissa. Hello. She says, great live, ladies. All right. Mel is saying, thank you. I was like, she's saying, thank you, Dee Dee, for having me. Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you. We love to hear you talk. You know, we're going to have a menopause panel. I think it's scheduled for July 20th with myself, Mel, Simply Taisha, and Lorraine from the Downsize. We're coming back for part 2 because we want to just kind of update you, talk about it. So many people shared in the comment section of that first live we did about how this was so informative. They had questions. People even, you know, contacted Mel behind the scenes to try to get some more information. So we just want to really talk about women's bodies, and we want to advocate for women and men. But, you know, we are, you know, I'm a woman, so of course that's where my heart lies. You know, and that's kind of, you know, I know about women because I am one. And so I enjoy learning about that. But we also want to bring the men on board because I think the more we understand each other, the better we are, just in general, all of us, right? All of us. So I love that.
Yes, for sure.
Well, you guys have a good night. Anybody celebrating anything else tonight? Allie is reminding us, don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, so Brenda is saying it would also, but also UTI can be symptomatic. You can have any kind of symptoms or not for UTI. Very important to take care of yourself. Yes.
Thank you for saying that, Brenda.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. All right, very good. This was a great live tonight. It was nice to see you both. It was nice to have you in that beautiful updo. You make me want to get an updo, Miss Brenda.
It is so pretty, so pretty.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Allie. Thank you for coming in and joining us. Reset with
Thank you,
Anissa.
guys.
She's also a content creator on here. Perfectly Pamela. Of course, Losing It Grace. All you guys that joined us, Wellness, was it Empowered Wellness by Teddy? We had so many content creators that were in here earlier. Thank you, Jen. You are so funny to me. Jen just cracks me up with her, her comments.
Yes, Jen is everything.
Yeah, all right, so next Friday, we got to think, what are we going to be talking about next Friday? I don't know. I'm going to come up with something. I will see you guys on Sunday for my weekly weigh-in at 2. And then I think I'm going to do my members live on Monday. People hopefully are going to be off and can be there or be square. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about my DEXA scan because I want to save it for the video, but I will give you a, you know, you'll be able to tell by my mood how that DEXA scan went. Jeez Louise. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Dee Dee.
She said next week is going to be hard to next Friday. We say that every time, and then we manage to top ourselves. I
know. So much fun. For that cortisol track star day.
Too funny. Good night.
Allie got jokes.
Bye.